What is going on, good people of YouTube? I'm ImJslay. Thank you so much for joining me, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're playing some Madden 21, but before we get into it, if you enjoy the content, leave a like rating, and if you would like to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. If you missed our previous video, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description of this video to it. But we talk a little bit about solos and some that you need to be doing now to maximize your coins, as well as the players, free players, that you can get. So for today's video, I want to talk a little bit about my biggest problem with Madden 21. Now, as I said, this is my biggest problem. This is not your biggest problem. It might be your biggest problem, but it's not your biggest problem. It's not your mother's biggest problem, your cousin. It's not your aunt's biggest problem. It's my biggest problem. So keep that in mind when watching this video, okay? Now, having said that, my biggest problem right now with Madden 21 is not something that I want the developers to fix. I want them to tune, anything like that. No. This is something that I have to adapt to and get used to after coming off of Madden 20. As you see that pick right there. Not going to see too much of that going on in this video, but that was nice. No, this is something that I have to get used to and I have to adjust to. My biggest problem with Madden 21 is defense. It is no secret that offense is much easier right now in this game than defense is. There's a couple of reasons as to why I feel that way, as to why I think defense is a little more challenging, and I'm going to go into those here in this video today. The first being, if you don't know, there's a new ability, or not ability, but there's a new attribute to some of these players, or to all the players rather, called change of direction. This is important, especially on defense. As your user, you're gonna be guarding multiple zones throughout the field, right? You're gonna be down playing on the line of scrimmage, then seconds later you're gonna be in the mid to second level of the defense. That's just how things go as a user, right? So with change of direction, a lower change of direction that the player has, the slower it's going to be to get around to these different places. Now, coming off of Madden 20, right? We had high overall players. They were a lot faster. I believe change of direction was probably in the game, and it probably has been a thing in the game, obviously. It's just now an actual statistic that you can see, or an actual attribute that you can see, right? So it's more to the forefront, and these users now, these players now, they're a lot slower, they're a lot lower overall, so just utilizing them and using them is going to be a lot different than, coming off of using a 99 overall player that's got 94, 95 speed, 97 agility, 97 acceleration, if you get my point there. So, working with Jeremy Chin, who is my strong safety, who I'm using a lot of the time, him being an 84 overall player, he's going to struggle. It's going to be a lot more difficult, right? So it's just something that muscle memory is going to be a huge thing, kind of getting used to how the stick feels, right? How these players move, finding those that work, and obviously the better players that you get, the easier of a transition that this is going to be. So that's one thing that I'm finding really tough right now on defense. The next thing is getting used to these zones and how different they play from Madden 20. For example, a deep blue in Madden 20 would play a cloud flat. He would play a hard flat if no one was contesting him in the deep blue that he was put in. In this game, it doesn't matter if no one's contesting him. If he's in a deep blue, you better believe he's going 30 yards down the field, regardless of whether anybody is in sight. And just adjusting to that, I would hope that as the game progresses and players' awareness becomes a little bit better, their zone attributes become a little better, that this is going to kind of work itself out. But right now you're seeing a big shift into a more man coverage than you are really in zones, just because these zones are playing so differently. And I really think I just need to, I haven't had a chance, I've been grinding these these solos, and I haven't really had a chance to get into head-to-head to just kind of play with it and really go in and lab it. So I think the more play time that I get with it, the better that it's going to be. But finding that, rhythm with the zones and how they're playing is going to be something that I'm going to have to get used to. Also, with the man coverage meta being a thing right now, getting used to man coverage, not running it at all in Madden 20, very, very little, is something that I'm really kind of getting used to as well. So that's kind of the second thing. The third thing that I've noticed is there is a complete lack of a pass rush. Now, I don't have the kind of players that would get edge threat, right? The best ability that I've got right now is on Daniil Hunter, and that's the swim club ability. And I'm still not noticing any pass rush at all, and this is allowing quarterbacks to just kind of sit back, survey the field, and throw to the open guy. As we mentioned previously, with the zones and man coverage, it's a little different right now. So it's just a total in the total scope of things. It's a lot harder right now to play defense. Hopefully, as like I said, the game progresses, these players will, become a little better at generating pass rush. Once again, I haven't utilized an edge threat. I haven't had that opportunity yet, so maybe that's going to kind of be the way going forward. But it's just having to adjust, right? You just got to be that much better with your user. You've got to, make sure that you make those pre-snap adjustments almost to the T. That way, without getting a pass rush, without seeing that rush come through, you're going to give yourself still a better opportunity to make plays, with your user, with your, with the CPU players that you have, by, making up for that lack of a pass rush with that, if that makes any sense. I was kind of rambling there. But yeah, lack of a pass rush has been something that I've really noticed, not getting to the quarterback. Hey, it's been nice on offense, right? As you can see, offensively in this game, I played pretty darn well. I got that turnover right at the beginning of the game, which really swung momentum in my favor. I did nothing with it though. So this was definitely a game that if defensively I didn't let slip away, that I should have definitely won. And just spoiler alert, I don't end up unfortunately winning this game. But nonetheless, it was still a game that was winnable, even with all of my defensive struggles, and they were very, very prevalent. You're going to see here, I believe it is this play right here. This was the first play after I had just put together a long touchdown drive. I give up this 70, 80-yard, 81-yard run to Cam Akers, who's very fast. It's very difficult to track him down once it's open field, as you can see. But it was just frustrating, right? Putting together an 8 to 10 play drive, going all the way down, scoring a touchdown, and then giving up a touchdown literally before I could even blink my eyes. My guys couldn't even get off the field, and the defense could get on the field before they were already in the end zone. So, but nonetheless, offensively, we're putting things together. The defensive part just has got to catch up. One thing, the fourth thing that I've noticed that is really hindering me, and this will be the final one, is the quick hikes, right? Me being unable to get my pre-snap adjustments in. Me being unable to, if I'm in man coverage, make sure that I've got purple zones on the left and right side with my safety linebacker, vice versa. Making sure that, my guys are being put in the right places to succeed. Not being on the right player, right? If I want to use a safety, getting stuck on my D lineman. These are things that I've got to iron and polish out. The first day that I had the game, there was some serious lag going on. I mean, it was almost unplayable. I'm happy to say that over the last couple of times that I've played head-to-head, that hasn't really seemed to be the case. And this game was one that I was not seeing any lag, at all, which was really good, or very minimal lag. But I know that's been an issue for a lot of players so far. But just with the chew clock feature that's on right now, I hope that's something that's going to get tuned, because what it is forcing offensive, guys that when you're on offense to do is to come out in a stock play. You don't have time to make adjustments, so you're just quick hiking. Well, the defense doesn't have to make time to make adjustments either, even though we're still going through those adjustments. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've gotten, two purple zones on the same side, or I've manned up the same guy. The receiver is manned up with two of my defenders, my both of my cornerbacks, or my corner and linebacker are manned up onto the same guy, and that just can't happen. And these quick hikes, the opponents just coming to the line, snapping the ball, is really hindering my ability to make those pre-snap adjustments, which was something that I was really getting good at in Madden 20. That's just going to get boiled down to muscle memory and repetition. Repetition and muscle memory is huge with those pre-snap adjustments. Being able to click all the different buttons that you have to click to make pre-snap adjustments, to me, for me at least, that's not a I have to think thing. That's a muscle memory thing, and I know that, you know, triangle is going to allow me to double tapping triangle, then I can hot route any of my secondary. Double tapping the right D-pad stick, I can hot route any of my linebackers, right? And then from there, it's just a bam, 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 bam muscle memory type thing, and that's just something that I'm going to have to get used to as I continue to play. The more and more that I play, but. We were able, as you can see, to come back, tie the game up 21-21. Had I had capitalized on that turnover that I got at the beginning of the game, this drive would have been much different. I would be up 28-21 right now had I scored a touchdown. He would be going in trying to, go down to tie the game, and I don't know if the outcome would have been any different. However, maybe it could have been a little different, and at the very least, we'd be tied going into overtime, as opposed to me taking the subsequent 28-21 loss, which you'll see here in a second. But nonetheless, those are kind of my points that I've noticed on defense so far. I'd love to know what you guys are feeling about the game in general, are feeling about defense. Are you having more success on defense than offense, more success on offense than defense? I'd love to know in the comments section down below. Be sure to let me know before you exit the video. But that's going to do it here for me, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like rating, subscribe for more content, and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all my uploads. I'm ImJslay. I'm out of here today. I'll catch you